I'm streaming. I got PJFs and Mr. KW for life on my watching me make an idiot out of myself. I just did, of course. Yum.
All right. I am now live with the Farming with Dave segment of our show. Yeah, that's what we're calling it. Welcome everybody that's out there that stuck around and anybody that's new. Dan's with me today, Hunter Farmer 101. You can watch his broadcast as well. He's out on a different farm or somewhere right now. I don't know where he is, but he's on the map. And I am cutting this. Are you cutting millet too?
No, only you. I'm harvesting coal. Getting wood, the wood mills going again.
Cool. Well, actually, if people are watching you, I'll keep my button pressed so they can hear what I'm going to be talking about. But I'll try to give you time to talk if you want to. It's not my thing, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Been there, done that.
But actually, I'm going to just run over some of the things that I'm going to. First of all, I noticed in between breaks that I do have on my schedule the hunting tomorrow night. I mean, the map making show tomorrow night. I was wishful thinking that if I get a deer, it's going to be early enough. If I don't make it back for that show tomorrow, you'll know where I am. I'll put up a cancellation, but I think we should be able to wing it. Either I'm not going to get one, or I'll get one. I'd have to get one really late in the day and not be able to get it to miss that show at 8 o'clock tomorrow, or 7, or whatever time I have it set up. I have my phone. It warns me. You're supposed to be going live. But we're gonna do try to work on finishing up an update for PV3 as well this week. Um, and I just wanted to run over a few of the things that will be included in this update for anybody that didn't catch us on the last broadcast, and some things that I Did not mention. You got a 4x4 deer. Nice. That's the easy way to get them. I almost got a couple doe the other day driving down the road. Hey, Wolfie, how you doing? So, with this week's update, like I said, you're gonna have to. We're reworking all of the sand, gravel, and silt on the map, dumping new piles because I moved the indexes and turned some of the other ones off so that anybody that has the new straw harvest mod or wants to run the seasons mod with this map, they will be able to. It's going to require you to just drop one file and overwrite a file in your save game folder and bring new piles. But if you want to do the update also, anything that you have in piles on your map will get deleted. So we're shooting for that on Friday, and we will. So you might want to make preparations to empty your bunkers out before then. If you have silage in your bunkers, that will disappear, as well as any other piles that you may have on the ground of sand, gravel, anything, because they're all going to be bye bye if you want to do the update. Other notes that will be coming in. Also, yeah, I think I mentioned Hunter Farmer 101 is also streaming live. You can pull up some multi stream link for those of you that know how to do it, and you can watch both of us at the same time. He's out here, and he's a give him a shout, man. He's my main tester for the past what now 5 years. He puts in lots of hours, making sure
Very quietly on the sides.
very quietly on the sides. Yep. So that is number one. Let's make this map so seasons mod people and straw harvest people. And thank you to he knows who he is who got me the copy of the straw mod for the testing, the straw harvest. So yeah, that was very helpful. Um, I know who he is and he knows who he is, but I don't want to publicize it without him knowing, without his permission. So, yeah, one of my viewers sent me in the straw harvest mod so that I could give it some testing to make sure that's going to work. Other than that, um, we are going to attempt to make it so that the tree limit is raised. I got a script that increases the amount of trees that can be on a map so that you will be able to plant trees. I'm going to bump it up, do some testing, bump it up to like 30,000 and see if it'll let you plant trees right from the get go. Uh, if not, it should be a heck of a lot closer. I don't know how many trees are on this map. It should be a heck of a lot closer to what we'll be able to. Right now, you got to wait till half the map is harvested before you can plant anything, or more than half because there's so many trees on it. So that is issue number two that I'm looking at. Now, give me a few hours to think, and I might figure out what the other ones were. Oh yeah, I'm gonna turn off the need to empty a cedar before it needs to be refilled. Thank you, Chetty. Glad to be here. So that's another thing that's going to be in the update. Turning off the cedars, emptying a cedar before it needs to be refilled will be uh, fixed, so you don't have to do that anymore. You could just switch seed like you used to the old way. And there is a fix for the sugarcane, so it shows up on the belts from that sugarcane pack. That's already in place as well. So those are the main things you can look forward to in this week's update. I don't know if there's anything else. I didn't. We might get time to work the traffic spline a little bit. Otherwise, turn it off or you'll have your vehicles turning around in the road. And Chetty is off today and tomorrow. Well, that's awesome. So this is going to be my last show today, but we're going to definitely got one on the schedule for tomorrow night, doing some map making stuff. And you can check out the schedule down below the stream. That's all new. I've gonna give a go at this full-time streaming thing and see how it works out. Maybe I won't have to get a job after all. We could do this. Wouldn't that be nice? Then I could put all my efforts and time into making you guys maps and playing games. Yeah, I'm coming down with a gun. Let's see. What else do we got to go? Oh, yeah. So the schedule is down below. I also put up a little voting poll. If you haven't seen it, you can vote on what you want the name of the PV16X map to be. Uh, One of the options I liked was that was very underused was the PV Industries. I think it fits well with this type of map. So I threw it on there to be the FS17 version of PV Industries. You could actually see the FS17 if you scroll over in the little vote panel. It didn't fit, but that was one of the options that we could do. So I see a few people have voted. Get your vote in down there. Check out our streaming schedule, and oh yeah, there's a little box there to see who's in the lead for cheers and all that fun stuff too that I added. Yeah, you better hide. Another thing was yeah, I get so sidetracked when I'm reading the chat. Oh yeah, I did the work on the YouTube site, cleaned it up a little bit to make room for all these new videos. Wolfie, thank you for the 100 cheers. Thank you so much, my friend. Now that I got the subscription status, is pretty cool. Some of these little crazy things, like that little tip jar, sometimes I think I might have to. It was working fine earlier. I think I might have to jump over here and have the tip jar actually open on my thing for it to work. Let me bring that on my other monitor because it's not dropping them again. This Streamlab stuff, it's cool, but there, maybe it'll work next time. Because I like to watch my jar fill up. PA Deer Drive. Oh, trust me, where we're going, nobody else goes. It's private farm, and if they do, we got rights to shoot them. Thank you for the host there, Chetty. Yeah, so actually, I'm not 100% sure I'm going to PA yet today. It might be right down the street here in NY, but we shall see. We're still working out the plans, so if I hear my phone go ding, it's probably the answer. But I haven't been out yet in the deer season here for buck, and we got doe permits for here too. Ends pretty much, what's today, the 4th? It ends on the 10th. Not much time left. So if anybody has any questions about the map, I also have a floating tree that somebody pointed out that nobody's noticed until now. I mean, what's going on with this? I have to check and see if it's really there or if it's just in that person's imagination. Now, he sent me a picture with the front. Out here where I live, you can't drive after like 6 o'clock at night without seeing deer come across the roads. I'm telling you, it's crazy this year. Every single time I'm driving, I usually have sometimes bucks, but most of the time it's doe. But some days I see 6 or 8 of them within 5 miles of the house. Last time I was out, I was cruising down this road and I had 3 doe, and I just was able to get the brakes on just in time, or I might have got a double. One of them made it across. The other two were right in front of me when I finally stopped. but it's a common thing out here. When I go for my walks down the road, uh, usually go 4 or 5 miles, sometimes six. I think the most I've done was a little bit more than six. I'll probably pass two or three every time roadkill that have been hit by cars. And then you get that lovely smell of the rotting deer because it's nobody picks them up out here. They just push them off the side of the road and move on. One day after hunting over 15 deer in a field. Yeah, that's the way it works. I saw four in our backyard the day before the season opened. I can't shoot here because there's neighbors a little bit too close. Well, maybe a bow. At least they wouldn't hear it. So I just go down to my neighbor's house. It's actually 1.7 miles. I pass it when I go for my walks down the road. Much bigger piece of property down there. After I fill this tipper up, I'm going to jump over and see if I can find that floating tree that is out there somewhere. You're right, Dan, though. Millet fills up really quick. Not as quick as sugarcane, though, right?
Yeah, but I that the bar the next day we have a little certainty over my farm that can be cut and see how long it takes. It'll take forever. You know,
Yep.
I had the I got a field that's ready to be cut right now, but I just haven't got time to do it.
Gotcha. Well, technically speaking, if there is a tree back here somewhere in the road, it's probably my fault. Well, I know it's my fault for putting it there because you guys didn't do that. But it's my fault for not noticing that it's there because it's kind of in my section of the map and you guys aren't over here that often. It's on one of these back roads up here. Don't drive like me. So the question is, where is it? It's back in this corner somewhere, I think. Is there a road back here? I can't remember where the roads are. There's a railroad. It was along the backside of 56 is where I saw it. So this road up here is where it would be. But I think it might be the other direction. All right. So I think it might be down this way. If I find it, now I'm not. I trust fully that that tree is on his map. I saw a screenshot, but I just am surprised that after all this time that this map has been released, that the trees have been finalized, and nobody's said, "Hey, there's a tree in the road." But sometimes the map gets edited by people. I didn't see it there. I thought for sure it'd be on that strip. And they're not on my version, or they're working off of some messed up version because that tree should have been on this piece of road. And I'm not seeing it, and I didn't cut it down. Sometimes a graphical glitch will make it happen, but yeah, right up in here is where it was. Does anybody else have that tree on their map out there? Or did we take care of it and that might just be not a reset of the tree file because it was on that road and I'm not seeing it anywhere. So I guess I can't worry about that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was there. I've got the screenshot and that's where it showed it was, and I don't know how it got on his map. It's basically, man, somebody got to teach me how to drive. Basically, it's a stray tree only on that person's map, I think.
You found that tree.
Oh, yeah, I find trees when I'm driving. Well, I got my steering wheel in front of me with my hand, but I'm using the push to talk. It's the horn. But I tend to use my left hand controller and just relax a lot rather than sit here steering and using the gas pedal. I use the steering wheel. It's pretty cool, but I love using it for doing forestry. Quantum 4 has a question. Does anyone have problems with the pallet factory stop working when emptying pallets? Yes, that is a known issue that if you take pallets off with a loading wagon or the loading self-loading thing right from the spawn trigger part, it will cause a glitch where you have to, I think you just have to shut down the map and restart. But if you take it off with the auto-loading trailer off of the one that spawns, you're going to have that issue. That's a well-known issue. It's been around. That's just something that bugs out the autoloader bugs out the spawn point. Doesn't realize the last one was taken, so it stops. So my suggestion is to you to knock that last pallet off or be very careful and always leave the one that's being made on that last spawn point there when you drive the truck over and pick them up. Those are the kind of things that aren't necessarily bugs, they're just issues that come along with the territory because the fabric script writer and it's just some things you can get to work only so well. You're using a forklift and you're taking it off, then I don't know. But it does have that happen where it doesn't realize it was gone. Are you using the forklift that automatically picks up the pallets onto the puts the pallets onto the fork? There's one of those out there too. So you don't even, you just get close to it and boom, it appears on the fork. Just a question because that's the only other way I could see that happening. You don't actually have to put the fork underneath it, but it jumps onto the fork. I know there's one, we might even have it on here. Oh yeah, the manual forklifts will work. Exactly. It's just things that basically take the object off the trigger, not manually, but with a script that causes those to stop working. And it's literally just save your game and reload it. It's lousy on a server because you mess it up for everybody on the server. You got to take the server down and start it. So we're very careful when we're doing it on the server not to do that. But single player, it's a lot easier to stop your game and restart and have it kick back in. Just so you know, I have responded to JT's message that he sent me about the Rivers release, waiting for his response. He's the one that did all the work on PV Rivers, and he's contemplating working with me to get a release day before Christmas, get you guys a Rivers 2017 release. Basically, in his email, to make a long story short, he's just looking for the credit for the work he did, and I told him that we would let him put our his donation link in the forums with the release, which is fine, and we'll give out his information during the release show as well. So I agreed to his terms, uh, and we'll see if he's happy with my terms, and if so, we'll have a release of the PV Rivers Reloaded for 2017 for you guys for Christmas while you're waiting for the next big map come out. So we'll keep you informed on that whole thing there. Honest with you, I plan the map, the farming shows and just the gaming shows. So they would, I mean, literally, I have to go out to a meeting right after I am done with this show. I'll have just enough time to get both of today's shows up to YouTube, but they're kind of like cool down periods for me where I'm just going to relax, answer you guys' questions, and see what we can bring you the gaming shows. And there's many more map making shows that are scheduled in the gaming, but I put them purposely. They're usually just before I have to head out or if something else is going on that day so I don't get stressed out and I can relax and farm with you guys and answer questions. Usually the map making shows require a little bit more prep of what I'm going to work on, getting some pieces in order, and doesn't always work just jumping on and putting them up there. But I do have ideas. I know we got to finish up the PV3, so tomorrow night we'll be jumping into putting more, and I might even get some in after my meeting tonight, but I won't probably won't broadcast it. We'll see. And who knows? Dumping some more. We will definitely have those shows that pop in that aren't scheduled as well. Rad Buffalo, thank you for the follow. Yeah, the stupid tip jar. Maybe I need to empty it between broadcasts. Because usually follows and everything drop into that thing. It's busted again. What is up with that darn? It was working good earlier. Let's see if emptying the tip jar works. Ready for this? Okay, that worked. Maybe it'll kick back in next time somebody follows, we'll know. Or donates or gives a cheer. Let's see if it's working again. Might have to empty it in between broadcasts. So I'd like some feedback from you guys too as well. Anything changes that you like or dislike, please, by all means. I know the video image is a little bit smaller with the extra stuff around the stream. Uh, but I'm trying to make it clear and easy for you to see. The chat overlay was kind of bugging me, so I put the chat down there just below and have a few lines of what that's for people watching on YouTube. But if you like it better the old way, I'd like to know. If you like it better the new way, I'd definitely like to hear from you there too, because I just mess around with things. I want to know if I do. There is, but it didn't go off there. For some reason, it stopped working. I got Twitch follows enabled and they were working earlier, but for some reason my jar stopped filling up. We'll see if it works. So yeah, anybody has any questions or comments if you like the scheduling thing or if you'd like to see more of something or let me know. There we go. Thank you, Vox Bull, for the follow. And you see, it's working again. So I guess in between streams, maybe that's the key. Empty the jar. It probably gets lost when I go offline. So bits and cheers and everything should drop in my jar for that episode. I was going to do it by the day, but apparently something goes wrong when you shut down in the middle. You came back to watch me play. Nice to see you back here. Yeah, a basic rundown of the game. Sure, let me finish up. Basically, this is the beginning. This is my map. A lot of the things you will see on this map aren't in the original game, but I will do an overview. That's a good thing for newcomers to the farming sim. Maple Seed 126, thank you for the follow, by the way. We'll run over some of the game itself. I don't think anybody's done that in a long time. Uh, just the basic Farming Sim 17 game stuff and show you some of the different equipment and if there's anything you want to know as I'm going through it all, ask. Most of these people in the audience have been here for longer than me, so they'll know if I don't know the answers or don't cover something that they think should be covered. We will jump into it. But let me finish this up. This field here, we're pretty close. Then we'll give a Farming Sim 101 for those who are new to Farming Simulator. Like me. No. I'm not new, but I rarely play these days with all the map stuff going on, but it's good. First thing I'll say while we're waiting is that if you are looking for this type of a farming game, um, Farming Simulator currently, maybe one of the others will catch up. Maybe Cattle and Crops will be a decent game when it's released, but right now nothing comes close to comparing to Farming Simulator 2017 as far as the farming games go. At least in my opinion, and probably most people's. Uh, it's a far superior as far as just so many aspects of it. And the modding community is so much larger right now that games like Farm Expert are I every year I have high hopes, but physics this year, the latest release, just really irritate me. There's always something in those games that is a little bit different that captivates me for a little while, but as far as long-term gameplay, you lose it on those. I could put thousands of hours into Farm Sim, but the games like Farm Professional Farmer and some of the others just don't come close to Farming Simulator. So that would be my recommendation. If you've played one of the others, you'll like this one probably a whole lot better in the long run. All right, so done with that field, we will jump into Farming Simulator, what it's like if you don't own it, and show you some of the different things that you have. Basically, there's a huge modding community, so some of the stuff you're going to see will be added into the game, such as the map I'm playing on. There are two maps that come with the game, and actually, the middle of my map is the Goldcrest Valley map. I just expanded it into a 4 times the size map. I got 139 in the back trailer. And but a lot of the functions on my map as well we have changed. So I'll bring up the overview of the equipment manager. Some of these, like the AR equipment, are mods, but you'll get a menu inside the game where you can purchase stuff, such as tractors. I'm not going to go through everything, but there's a whole complete store with different vehicles you can buy, all with different specifications. Comparing one to another tractor, I mean, different horsepower, different pulling capacity. It's pretty in depth as far as the equipment goes, and the models are superior compared to the other equipment as well. Harvesters, and you'll see ones that we've modded with the little mod tag underneath. So you have a whole vehicle shop to run your farm. You start out, you jump into the game, you'll have, actually, let me see if I can find a, there's different ways to move around on the map. This is my map, but the center down here is identical to the original gold crest that comes with the game. Or close, not identical, but pretty close. We've added new barns and stuff. So, but you'll have these starting fields right around here with a small equipment that you can jump on and start harvesting. Uh, in the original game, you pretty much harvest your stuff and sell it to sell points that are around the map, get money, reinvest in equipment. So you got your combines, your tippers, and you do a lot of driving around and just going to the different sell points. We have several new sell points as well, but is limited on console. Yes, some mods are for console, and a lot of the console mods that we have will not work, even including my map, will not work on consoles because of all the extra stuff we run. So it consists of your farming your fields with different combines. This is the top level combine that comes in the game. So you start off with several smaller ones, or you can do what we do usually, buy the best as soon as you can afford it, save up so you're not wasting money. But you'll want to, if it's your first time, jump in and try different ones, see which ones work for you, which ones you like better. Might have a brand name that you like better. Where am I going? I want to go do another field and then get a seeder. So you do the seeding, fertilizing, and all the fun stuff with all this different equipment. It's kind of hard on this to show you what it's going to start off with when you play because the crop that I just harvested, the millet, is not in the standard game. The standard game comes with wheat, barley, carrots, not carrots, wheat, barley, potatoes, sugar beet, canola, or rape if you're in a different part of the world. Um, what else am I missing, Dan? Wheat, barley, rape, some flour, soybean, and if you get the platinum expansion, you get sugarcane. This is sorghum, another one that we added into the map. So that's what the modding community can do. They can bring in additional crops, different functions, and things like that. There is silage bunkers here that you create silage and you can sell it off for extra money. There's animals on this. We can jump to the different animal farms. They're pretty close to the way they were in the original Gold Crest. If I can find them on here. Let's see. One is right over here near the gas station. There's the cows. So, do we own any cows, Dan?
No, this is fresh map. We don't own any of those animals yet.
All right. Well, cows get to be purchased in the store and they would appear down here and you have to feed them and do all the stuff. Just a note, quick look at the menus. So you have your vehicle shop here with shop categories, and in here you will find animals section where you will be able to buy. Actually, you buy your animals now on the at the. That's right, they're not in there. I'm going back to 2015. You buy your animals over at a little animal place up on the hill. Uh, but we don't have cows, pigs, or sheep yet. They'll be coming soon because we just started this game. They've been putting it off so graciously for me because I have been not able to play. It looks like we got our sugarcane test actually still down here on the map when I was adding the new sugarcane in. Right down the middle of another field. See that? Canuck SRWE, thank you for the follow. So, yeah, the basic game, you get forestry as well. You can cut down trees and bring them to your lumber mill and get paid for them. We have a whole industry set up on this map with different factories, and we use the lumber to make boards and planks and chipboard and stuff like that. So that you can do wood chipping and chopping. I'm looking. I probably shouldn't chop a tree down just in the middle of the village, huh?
Go ahead. I've got a license.
All right, I'm gonna just chop this one down here in this yard. Give you a look. Do we even own a chainsaw? Nobody bought a chainsaw?
Now, give me a sec. I'll get you a chainsaw.
I'm at negative dollars right now. I can't buy it. Danny will get it. Once he buys it for the server, it will be available for us. So there's multiplayer up to 16 players if you're running a server. You can get servers through uh, very games. Our server actually happens to be at Dan's house. He's running our server, which
You
is
now own a
convenient.
chainsaw.
So here's my chainsaw. And this is how you cut down a tree with a chainsaw. Timber! And you should always cut it away from the house, but I really didn't care. You can't damage the houses in the game. And once you have your trees cut down, you can then debranch them, if that's a word. And you can even cut them up into smaller sections to cart away. Yeah, just like that right there. So, for those of you who don't like to do the trees with your little hand chainsaw, there's big equipment once you can afford it. Do you have some up on your farm, Dan?
It's down by coaching in those buildings.
All right, we'll jump over to Koji and show you some of the bigger tree stuff too. We've got lumber piled up here. So this is one of the buildings that we put into the map, Cogent, and it makes paper and resin and boards and wood chips up here and all sorts of stuff. We don't get a penalty because Danny purchased a tree license, and it remains to find 30. But we can cut 99 more trees in the next 22 hours. So no penalty for me. And this is not in the standard game, the tree cutting penalties and stuff. That is added into, and this whole menu that I just popped up, that's only in a few maps right now. But no penalties for me. Wouldn't do that to you. We can't handle it. So basically, if we have to purchase a license right there in front of Cogent. There was a little marker. There's Dan driving by with a Ford tipper train going down the road.
I got gravel.
Multiplayer is not essential at all. As a matter of fact, most people the speed running mod, yeah. Actually, I'd run a lot faster if I didn't have the chainsaw in my hand.
There's a scorpion sitting in that shed and
That's what we're looking for. So there are several pieces of equipment, but this is whoops, and he has the boom up in the air. Got to lower it down to get it out of the garage. There we go. There are several pieces of equipment around here, such as this big tree cutter that will do that whole job that we just did much quicker. I'm going to bring up F1 menu, which is this menu right up top. The viewers prefer to have it turned off when they're watching because it covers so much of the screen. But and I have my key commands for this stuff set up wrong. So bear with me as I get this thing to spin around and lock into place. And turn it there. I got the lock on now. You can cut your trees down with this monster machine, and if you can line it up, I'm sure it'll work better. Let me see. I'm trying to. I don't do this that often. I got to remember all my key commands on my sticks and everything. All right, so you get it to where it says cut, and you hit the X button, and now we have a tree. But the cut length is set to 1 meter. Dan, what's the maximum size? Whoops. I,
8.
8 is what you run it?
I'm running 8 because you just read.
Well,
Well, I just
I just tabbed out of the vehicle, so now it dropped it from the cutter. Let's try another one. Change cut length is Y 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that way you can do tree pieces pretty quickly, and that is the Scorpion. We've got specially designed trailers to pick them up. You can actually in this game now this year pick the pieces up with by hand if they're small enough. Yeah, you'll notice, like Captain D said, you need the Superman mod to pick whole trees up and stuff. There is just about a mod for everything in this game, depending on what you want to do. Now, I actually cut with the modded version. I've been running 12-foot pieces on the self-loading trailer, and they fit fine on my single-player game. But let's chop this up.
I use eights because I discovered that most of the time if you use a number eight, that little tip of the tree, 90% of the time will just disappear, and you don't have to worry about trying to pick it up.
So let's see. You can cut little pieces. We don't have the pick up hand thing. On our game as well, we can turn that off because a lot of people don't like the bullet in the middle of the screen. So we have it set up in a menu, if I can find it here. Uh, da da da. Remove the target. Now we have the target so we can get the hand. And I actually, if the pieces are light enough and small enough, you can raise them up and walk around with them and drop them into a chipper or whatever. But I think I'm quite a ways away from the chipper, aren't I? Let's see if we could put it into the, whoops. And yeah, it's a little tough, especially on the server, to move pieces around because of the lag and the weight and not having the Superman mod. But if it drags on the ground, it'll get stuck. But I'm going to drag it over and see if this sawmill has room in it for more logs by dropping it into, where is it? Did it get dropped on the other side? Yeah. Darn, I dropped my piece again. I'm just messing around today. So the sawmills that we have here are mods as well that are brought into the map. So yeah, you'll find lots of maps with a lot of extra features that the players have added beyond what Giants itself has done. There are vehicles to move these, but I'm being silly and carrying it all the way over across here just to show you that you can carry it. There's actually basketball courts too where you can play hoops. And the picking up of objects is new to FS17.
Hey, Superman, I thought you could carry better than that.
There, I finally got it in the trigger, so now it's loaded into the sawmill. But so yeah, you're able to cut things down, move them around, and all that stuff. Anything else I didn't cover? I'm not sure. So there's forestry, there's pigs, cows, sheep, and chickens. But the chickens don't do anything really other than lay eggs that you can pick up and bring them to a sell point. Lots of different pieces of equipment. Baling, you can do baling. Um, the BGA work, so you can make silage to feed your cows and mixed foods and different things. There's lots to do, but if you do a mod map, you will get usually lots more functionality. We've added, I'll bring up the menu, yeah, the wrong menu. So we have the map overview, shows all of our fields that we have and what state they're growing in. Most of them are ready. We've added the cranberry, the rice, the oat, the mustard, the millet, the cotton, the coffee, the onion, the carrot, the hemp, the lavender, the peanut, the rye, the sorghum. They're all added in. Sugarcane is new if you have the expansion. So these are the original crops here: wheat, barley, canola, sunflower, soybean, corn, potatoes, sugar beet, oilseed, radish, grass, and the poplar. Everything else on these menus, everything else here is added in by us. And you have different soil It'll let you know if you need to plow the fields in between. It'll be red. We have it. That's an option you can turn on and off. We'll go through your menus real quick. These are sell points and prices. Notice ours are empty because we're using a different script for sell points. That little window I popped up before. But if you aren't, you would have this whole stuff filled in, and you could scroll over. Look at all the products up there. Products are added in, but ours aren't there. You got your vehicle overview. There's actually some days it starts costing you more to run the vehicle, so you might want to sell. Do you guys even pay attention to that? I don't know about you, Dan, but I don't anymore.
I don't pay attention to it at all because we've always got millions of dollars on the server.
Yeah, but your vehicles do age and start costing you, but our game is relatively new, so there's not even a lot of days. Most of these vehicles are not too old. Uh, and your whole financial overview, as well as your animal overview in this menu here, but we use a different one as well. But it does tell you how much water, straw, different products, and you gotta shovel up at your animal places to keep them clean, or they start not producing as much. They breed the pigs, the sheep, and the cows. The more you have, and then there's tons of general settings you can change right here, including a radio that you can actually play music. I tend to not play music on my streams because, hey, Badzilla's back. Because ends up most of the time I put everything to YouTube, and 90% of the time they sometimes they delete the whole stream. So it shows that Dan how much money Dan he's short $125 because he has money in his account. So that's basically the basics. It's a lot of farming. But you get into the mod stuff. We added the factories that run. We've got a whole slew of them on here that we actually bring these products to. Rarely do we sell off products directly. Other things we do on our map, on the original Giants maps, you purchase your seed, your fertilizer, and your fuel. At the gas stations, you'll purchase fuel. You can purchase bagged fertilizer and stuff. We have factories that produce it, so you have to deliver product to those factories in order to create your own seed and fuel and stuff as well as expanded the trains. There are trains. We didn't even cover that. You can drive trains around the map. You actually drive the trains, but they stay on the track. That I'm always in the negative. Actually, we are running on the server the modded version, Big Daddy's external accounts mod, which we include in our downloads section as well. So if you're running a server, and basically how that works is there's a script that runs, and you'll notice I'm actually in the negative, but if I use the right control K, I have a bank account. Money in my bank, I have $186,000. Money in game is negative 1306. If I take and put all my money into the game, you notice I now have less because I just went took away my negative, but now I have 185,354 in the game. We use this so people can keep their own money between sessions. Otherwise, it's one big pot on the server that everybody draws from, and everybody sees that has admin privileges logs in and sees the same thing. But this way, our individual farmers can take their money and put it in their bank, and there we are. My money's back in the bank, and I can save up for equipment that I want to use on my farm. So there's again, it's another mod. These are things that you don't get with the console. I don't think you won't get Big Daddy's version for server play. And money management has always been one of the things I'd love to see them really tackle so people can run individual accounts in individual silos and have it would be great to have multiple farms with if I deliver something to somebody's farm, there's a trigger where they get the money. That type of stuff would be awesome. The game definitely could stand room for improvement for multiplayer functionality. If I to keep people's money separately, we at least have the external accounts mod to help us out a little bit, and at least, but I would love to see it where I could harvest my sorghum and then go sell it to John or go who doesn't exist. Sell it to Dan because he needs it to run his beer factory or something. And or if I assign my factories to different owners, whoever purchased it runs it, and any money that's made from that factory goes to that person. That would be so awesome. This map here is a 4x size. 4 times the size of an original map. The current map I'm working on is going to be 4 times larger than this one. So, just checking my phone going off again. So yeah, this one here is 4 times the size of an original map, and the 16x will be 16 times the size of the original map. It's going to be huge with lots more stuff coming in. We're doing a whole series on that. Several of my upcoming broadcasts, you're watching me make the next map, and we've got a real long way to go, but you'll get to see the different things and changes and new stuff coming in. What is the ejecta coming out of the back of the combine? There is just some particle effects of the on this, just some smoke like it's just a particle effect. Nothing's actually dropping on the ground with this one. However, if we were doing 4 of the products, wheat, barley, oat, and rye, it would leave a windrow on the field where we could then bale it up with a baler. Happy with what Giants did with the sugarcane. Yeah, it's a different. I like it. It looks good. It's working on the map now with a couple of little fixes. But I always like it when they release new equipment that we haven't got to use before and that we might be able to use for other things down the road as well. And the sugarcane harvesters, yeah, it's going to take you a lot longer than these huge headers that we used to do it with, but it's kind of cool to have the new sugarcane equipment. Like I said, as I go around and I've tried Farm Expert and some of these other things, there's always things I like and I would love to see implemented in ours version with maybe the modding community will do it, maybe Giants eventually will make changes, but nothing ever runs as smooth as it does when it, believe it or not, it's sometimes there's some hiccups here and people will complain about them, but it's still better than the alternatives. As I talked about Farm Expert earlier, the way the greenhouses work, that you get to go up and down the rows and plant inside them and harvest inside them with the pickers and stuff, I just think is pretty awesome. Dropping the crates on the ground and then loading up the trailers by hand. It's some same way with the orchards. The orchard pickers that go down in between the trees. Really nice. Now that we can lift up objects, I'm surprised nobody made a mod to that will do that. It's just probably like a modified baler would be need to made that goes down, triggers in the and picks it, puts it into crates, drops it on the ground, pick up another one. It'd be kind of cool. The orchards and the greenhouses in Farming Expert are probably the only two things that I think are done nicer. So you literally go out there and plant your fields with trees. Here we have orchards, but they're mods and they're pre-planted and stuff. There you have a little tree planter. A guy sits on, you pull by and it puts the hole and he drops the plants in the ground. That's some pretty cool stuff. You got to hit targets on it, which is kind of crazy, but just some things that maybe someday. I didn't cover the greenhouses. We have greenhouses on here. Our greenhouses are all mods. Uh, the in-game greenhouses, you can buy several placeable objects in the main game, and they include a pressure washer. Your vehicles get dirty, so you can wash them. Water towers, vehicle shops, heating plant to sell your wood chips, uh, extension silos that do not work with my map, a hay loft for, I think you just sell hay, storage space for hay and straw. Addition,
Our greenhouses are operational and they are running at this time.
yeah, I'll take them over to CRs, but the greenhouses that are in the game, do they even have them in the game anymore as placeables? I don't think they do. I don't see them in the menu. So our greenhouses are mods. They, which I could show you how they work, but they're not going to be in the standard game. Too much delay from chat to video. You shouldn't recognize the. Well, it looks like it's. Yeah, I don't know. It's a standard, maybe 10, 15-second delay. So I do get things a little bit late, but we will. A lot of times it's just that I can't watch a chat scroll and catch the questions right away. That happens. I'm trying to farm here, but I look over every now and then and see what you guys are up to. So let's take a ride over to greenhouse to show you our greenhouse setup. Hit the right button. There we go. We'll take a little ride around our map. So this is one farm, my farm that I run up here. Down here, we'll wind down toward the greenhouse area, which is more over by Hunter Farmer. I'm yawning already and I got a long day to go. Okay. Uh, I've added some new roads into the map since the original release. Normally you couldn't come down through here. There's our lavender growing on a field. Added some color to the map, that's for sure. So here's our seed fertilizer and liquid fertilizer production plants. They're mods as well. And there's duplicates on the other side of the map. No problem, Captain. We'll be here. Stop by, check the schedule. We'll be doing a lot more streaming for the rest of this month, and we'll see how it goes. But thanks for joining us.
They take your truck and push the full pallets off of those greenhouses, and then they'll get you started again.
I can do that. So all these fields out here are all extensions to the map, the regular map. We added all this property and all this. We've got mining, several products. We've got just a whole mess of. Oh, we're well over 100 products on this map, and I think the original game comes with like 30 maybe. We are pushing up pretty high there. So here's our greenhouse area with our greenhouses running. And Danny wants me to play bump the pallets to empty these off. Our greenhouses actually produce these pallets of uh, fruit. Yeah, the labels are not exactly in English because I'm not redesigning the pallets. They look good other than the wording, but you can tell what's in them. There's strawberries here. And those are our raspberries. You've got
You
all.
can grab those pallets with the self-loading trailer. One pallet, which is on a moving part of that pallet thing, will go flying in space. It will land somewhere and eventually you'll run into it.
Right. Cauliflower and red cabbage are down here. Uh, you can see the lights are flashing red and yellow because they're full. They can't. These things can't create any more pallets until we start emptying some of these. That's why he said to knock them off with my truck. No problem. So yeah, and there is our apples. And oh wait, are they apples? We don't have apple warehouses. What? Oh, tomatoes. Yeah, tomatoes and lettuce pallets. Which for the next version, lettuce can actually be planted in the fields as well as cabbage. So we might work some things out so we can add new greenhouses. I'd like to get the mushroom green. Oh, great. Come on, pallet thing. I wasn't even close to done and it's moving already. I was trying to be neat about this, Dan, but I guess it's not working.
That's the problem with it. Even with a forklift, or especially it's worse with one of those self-loading trailers. You'll lose one of those pallets. They go flying in space. You'll drive around, and eventually you'll see it it's laying on the ground somewhere.
Well, do you have a self-loading trailer around here? I'll empty these out.
Yeah, there's one up at my farm. I don't have it. There's not a truck up there right now.
No problem. I just finished harvesting this field, so I'll offload this and I'll bring my thing over, my truck over, and get your trailer and get those things emptied out.
The trailer's sitting in one of the barns.
Sounds good.
If you're interested, you can jump over here and show these guys how easy it is to collect sand.
What do you use to collect the sand?
Big Daddy's Franzi and drive round and round and round and round.
And then you load it into the train?
No, I just loaded it into the truck unless I tip it over like I just did.
Yeah, well, you should see how I've been doing in my single player. I kind of cheat a lot more than you do. I use his grasshopper.
Oh, Dad, I want to put a grasshopper on this game. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
I use that. I go around and I actually have three conveyors, one up up to each of the train things. And because that darn mod is only $100, I have three of them. Because the conveyors take a little while; they're a little bit slow to load. So I just go over and I use the grasshopper, fill three of them up, back them up to the conveyors, and let them fill the train. Go to the next train. I have three more over there with conveyors, and I've been loading millions upon. That's how I've been playing my single player game and getting cash, selling off tons of sand and gravel.
I got Big Daddy's harvester and seeder over here for his sugar cane. I don't have the grasshopper yet. I need to get a grasshopper.
Yeah, it's fast, it's handy, but I don't abuse it. That the thing is, I take shortcuts uh with certain things because I don't get much time to play. But I think if I'm correct, that grasshopper thing can actually do fields. I know it
Yeah,
does.
it's supposed to.
Yeah, I don't use it as a combine because that would take away gameplay to me, you know.
I believe you got to put a combine head on it.
Yeah, but still, the thing goes like 100 miles an hour down the field. I do grass. I do my grass fields in like 2 minutes where it used to take an hour. So several things like that. Whoa! Oh, that was a good save. Several things like that I don't bother messing with because it would if I used the grasshopper in that, then I'm starting to me it just feels like I'm not playing the game anymore. I'm just, if you start making it so you're using one little tiny piece of equipment to do everything, then what's the point of having, you don't need a tipper with the Crasa, it has its own capacity. You get what I'm, but I do use it for some things. Like it's great for emptying a silage bunker. Leave my tippers behind and go over to Danny's and we'll see if we can get those pallets out of there and over to the warehouse before there are too many of them. Yeah, that grasshopper, man. They're right, Badzilla. You can make it so it's I'm pretty close to the only piece of equipment you need on the map. It can do just about everything. Picks up sand, gravel, harvest fields, has its own capacity. Whoops, I'm going to crash into a fence. I don't drive on roads. Yeah, I know there's three versions, but what's the difference between the versions? They're all in one pack. It seems to me, I know there's one that's the service station too, so you can load vehicles with seed and fertilizer with it, and fuel. But it still does all the other functions. That's usually the one I buy because it's only one I need. I wonder if your trailer is still over in the same barn it was the last time I was here.
We'll find out when you get to that barn. That's not the barn. That's the. It should be in the same barn. If you don't hit every single one to get to it, it's off on your. It's in one of those buildings.
Yep, I've got it.
I'm watching on the delayed part of the stream, so I can't tell you when you actually get it.
I've got the flatbed so we can move those pallets. Let's see if we can make things fly. Or if it's just you. Sorry I'm running over your corn, but boy, you got some work to do over here. You got a lot of corn to harvest.
Well, you got that update coming in, so I'll lose that
Oh, you turn.
corn if I put it in my silo.
Yeah, you do all it to chaff. Well, tomorrow night's show we'll work on. If I don't get a deer or get it early enough, I'll be back tomorrow night to work on that update so we can get it ready for this week. Who knows? We only need like 1 day of quick testing on that, so we'll see what happens. Let's see. We want work position. We're looking at not board pallets. We got to change it to pallets.
Pallets.
Oopsie. I just picked up the last one, so I probably just messed that up.
Count the pallets on your load. You'll know missed one. If it flew, yeah, you got one flying.
Usually it's just invisible.
Maybe.
I don't think it's flying. That's a visual bug. Yeah, it's there. Watch this. If I get out of the vehicle, that's always happened, Dan.
Okay.
If when I drop it on the ground, let's see. I don't think it flew anywhere, but let's unload it. A server bug, maybe. Unless I don't know. Although it does look like one's still missing. Yeah. All right. Maybe why you find it elsewhere sometimes.
Oh yeah, it's laying on the ground somewhere. It'll show up. Could be anywhere.
That's strange.
But you'll be driving around and oh, there's a pallet on something laying on the ground.
Yeah, I don't know with these trailers why that would do that, but it's strange stuff. Who knows why things happen? They happen for a reason. Probably so that you can play Find the Pallet later. I'm just driving these down to the main warehouse.
Oh, you could drop them off at see where you at. Oh, you already passed the dump like warehouse.
Oh, can we drop these off at the silos now? Yeah, we.
Yeah.
Of course, I made it so we could. I'm coming back then, because I go all the way over there. Yeah, you could drop it off right at the any train station now. I'm losing my mind. I forgot. That's how
Yeah,
long it's been
you'll have to
since I.
check with the guy that made this game. He'll tell you.
Yeah, yeah. This autoload trailer did that, so it launches them every now and then. Something going funky. Hello, Scrimmer. Manually in-game creating heaps. Did I get the link YouTube with the GE how-to? No. Can you send it to me? I haven't seen it. Can I drop it here? I might be able to put it. No, there's no. Because I've been looking all over. I've tried so many different combinations of bits that I literally spent a good 4 hours trying to figure it out. Where am I going? I'm just driving around aimlessly, trying to figure out the right bit numbers to get my piles to appear. I'm doing something wrong, and I've been backloading it. But boy, would that save time, and it would look a lot better if I could just paint them in. I have not. I looked all over the place last night. Couldn't find any videos on it or any of stuff. So if you got a link to a YouTube video that shows how to do it, paste it in there or PM me it. I will take a look, and it might save me lots of time.
See those silos you're coming up on? One of those silos will take it.
Yeah, it's the produce silo.
You're right about there now. You're all done loaded. You got unloaded when you have that silo won't automatically empty.
All right, let me click on this link for that, and I did tests like that myself, and I was not getting them to show up in the game. So, but I'll look into that and see if I can figure out what reason, what the reason why. I mean, I was making piles left and right with the, and I've used several of those bit sets. So I will. That's exactly what I had been doing for hours. I've gotten piles on my fields, but never did any of the products. And I can tell you, like I'm looking at his chart that he bookmarked here. Hang on just a second, folks. Giants Editor channel 01234. Yeah, I've been working on those, and uh, for some reason, something else. I'll have to read the whole article to see why my piles 5 to 10 are the height channels, which I knew. You can check 9 and 10 and get the highest height. That's what I figured that out. But every time I was drawing them, I wasn't getting anything to show up in the map afterwards, and I'm not sure why. We'll try it again with that guide. There might be a setting or something that I have set wrong, or something I'm not doing right. I had 3 fields with piles and bits labeled and tried all the bits that were from some of the other people have been using and not getting anything. So basically, you see how it moved those pallets off of the spawn points as I picked them up. Now they're safe to pick up. If I was to take it off the spawn point like I did over here, it may not start up again. But they did, so we're in business. I didn't mess it up too bad. Sometimes they won't start up if you take it right off the spawn point. Thank you for that, LS. That'll We'll take a good look, man. I know you can paint them in somehow because I've did it by accident once. I got a pile on the ground, but it has been literally it was started taking me longer to paint them in trying to figure out how than just going in with my $100,000 trailer. If I figure it out, I will let everybody know on tomorrow's broadcast just what I needed to do. You've got these things pumping out pallets, that's for sure. In the future version of the map, Dan, you won't have to move the pallets off. They're all going to be silos. Just bring your tippers over.
Looking forward to your future.
Me too. Always looking forward to the future. I mean, it's cool to be able to move the pallets around and all, but all these pallets that would be sitting on the map. Oh wait, these might stay. Actually, it's the orchards that won't be. We probably will still have these pallets. We just can't have them all on both because that's a lot of stuff sitting around in the map. All right, KW, we'll be here for another half hour, roughly. Then I must get myself ready. I'm curious now. Trying to read that article on the one monitor, watch you guys on the other. I'm just curious as to what the heck I'm doing wrong with that process. There's got to be something, some brush setting or something that I'm messing up because I've drawn those piles with those bits. Oh, I just picked up the small partial pallets again. Sorry, Dan. It's okay. If I mess it up, we'll restart the server in between probably now and the next time I get on here anyway.
Oh yeah, the quick restart of server problem solved.
Yeah, we gotta do some testing in the next couple days of the update that's coming. So once that's ready, we'll be starting the server a few times, most likely. So you guys, seriously now, nobody responded, I don't think, unless I miss it. Um, are you okay with the overlay the way it is now? Just curious. Or did you prefer it the way it was before? Anybody? Doesn't matter. Either or. Uh, for me, whoops, I keep hitting the wrong key. When I'm watching the stream, it's a lot easier for me to see because I don't have the full window up what's going on over there. But all right, Maple Seed, no problem. Hope we see you back here again soon. Thank you for that too. The DR trip, fun and safe. Who could ask for anything more? I think we just about loaded up your pallet. You got a lot of pallets down here too. You've been pumping them out, haven't you?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That and I'm flipping my truck over every once in a while too.
I do that so often it drives me crazy. We need to get trucks with a better center of gravity, really heavy center of gravity, so we can't roll them.
Yeah, yeah, I flipped mine up twice so far while I'm streaming.
Either that or make all the products weigh zero. It works too.
That yeah, that would help, but I don't think that would be something that would be enjoyable to play with.
Have I looked into layouts that give you a full screen? I mean, basically, that's the thing. I've had several different layouts, several full screen layouts. Uh, but if you want information on the stuff or the chat box, it usually overlays part of the screen if you're going full screen. And I did want to get the chat box up there for the YouTube guys. I mean, I was running it over the top of the screen, and I like to have some of the features up there. So there, actually, the funny thing as I was rearranging the YouTube videos, I've had some very minimal ones, but I definitely want to keep something up there to thank all our donators and stuff. And I had a little space issues. I could overlay the chat box, but then you're hiding part of the images, especially when I'm working on the maps. I got menus on the side where a chat box would go that people I want people to see. So, but as I was watching back the YouTube videos from all my previous streams, I think I've gone through like 10 different layouts. Now, interestingly enough, if I tab out here, I can go like this because I didn't know how you guys would feel about it. And I can bring back the old layout, which is less, but I don't know. As far as the chat logs, if they that's a good question. As people are watching the video, the thing is, they'll hear me respond to people, and if they don't see the chat, they don't know what the original question is unless I repeat it. And I know that that's been mentioned before, and a couple people have asked me if I could put the chat up on the YouTube video. I don't know how important that is. But this is the old layout, much more minimal, uh, and actually harder for me to read, covering up part of the images. Things could be moved around, but we're always covering up something. And today I've been running this layout here just to see what people think, which makes it a lot clearer to see. I think the stuff. I don't think we're hiding too much of the video. Just curious. Where am I putting this? Oh yeah, you want this back in your barn, I think.
That'd be nice. You don't get around to it. I'll do that. You log out.
Nope, we got some time. I got to get my field start seeding over there because that is something that I always like to do. Make sure I'm seeded and ready for next time. I really feel like there should be another access road down to the lower road from up here. I always end up jumping this hill. Ooh, I hit a tree in the process.
You have problems with trees, you have to talk to the map maker.
I'm taking shortcuts. That's all, Dan. I'm going up and over hills.
Yeah, I'm watching. I'm behind you on streaming, but I'm watching
Is it really that much delayed today? Where am I? I think I went the wrong direction. I don't know
you. I
where.
don't know where.
I just looked away. I must have spun around. I'm not heading in the direction I wanna. Let's go back over this hill. It says Giz G donated $50 with the message from my own pocket. Ha ha. But it didn't do a donation. I think he just typed that in. How the heck? Oh, maybe it. Yeah, I don't know if the alerts or what that was, but it didn't go off. It didn't show up on my feeds. However, just a reminder for you guys, I'm not sure how the Skrill donations are going to work yet because I've never had one, but we just signed up for that, and it may not show. But ones that are, uh, I don't know. It didn't come up. Airman 9 Man donated
Like the map, Puff
$10.
needs some good road sign for it.
Yeah, road signs. Yeah, the road signs are definitely going to be in the next big map that we're doing. Um, I was contemplate. Yeah, that was a fake donation. KW. Uh, uh, that's what I was wondering at first, but I don't see anything. Sometimes donations don't pop up because they are check pay, but they will later on if people do e-checks. But anyway, thank you so much there, Air 9 Man, for the $10 donation. And road signs. You were mentioning the road signs, so let's get into road signs. Road signs on this map. we could have named the roads. This is such and such street, that is another such, but we ran out of time. At this point, I don't know if we'll get the time to revisit that. Maybe in a future update, but there's like things I try to squeeze into updates that are more important, and then it ends up they get like I've been wanting to get the traffic spline finished up, but I'm trying to get that 16x map, and I will before we release that put signs indicating directional signs toward factories and different things like that. Problem with this map and all the stuff that's on it that is if I put turn left here for Cogent or turn right here for this factory, we would have signs with 30 different places because the map's smaller. So you'd be this way. There's Borden Dairy, Sam Adams, Jeff M252. Thank you for the cheers. Uh, and the signs would have been pretty well jam packed. But with the off ramps and on ramps and the different things on the 16x map, we're definitely going to add some road signs and directional signs will be more spread out. So it'll work a lot better. We're definitely going to do a whole road thing and put some signs along the highways when you get to an exit. What's, just like you see here in New York anyway, this exit has these places off of it. And then we're going to try to do those. But they are graphical. And I'm going to. Is there anything specific you want to plant, Dan? My seed is already loaded with rice. I'll plant some more rice.
That sounds good. There didn't need, we really need just a start map anyway, so
Yeah,
rice sounds good.
just kind of stocking up stuff right now.
That's all we're doing, is just talking.
Get that guy going. I'll start harvesting the other Rayfield. None went. It happens. Sometimes they go, sometimes they don't. Try to figure out where we are over here. Need to put more room between there. I want to drive through. I gotta go all the way around. So Lars is not around today, huh? He's usually here.
I hadn't been feeling good, so he might have had to log off. It's
Yeah.
also late in the evening where he's at.
Yep. Road signs do definitely make the map. I want to actually, it depending on, I'm probably going to have signs for, like, if you guys remember, and actually I might even bring back the same ones. Remember in PV15 V2, we named the farm areas like little towns? Last year, we had, rather than just naming the farms, we had the towns. I forget some of the names, but might bring that back in as well for each of the four areas. So as you're driving down the road, if you go into a town that somebody else operates, you'll see the little road sign that at the border that tells you you're now entering his zone because you don't own Happyville, you own something else. So now I've got two hired workers going. Yep, and I'm going to get my rice collected, and I'll probably have half the fields done, Dan, because I'll when I get off of here, I'm gonna have to get ready to leave, and who knows if these guys will finish or not. But I got about 20 minutes left.
I'll keep an eye on them when they finish. I'll shut it. I'll stop when they look good. I'll quit about that time myself.
Sounds good. Just not sure if I'll have time to get everything put away if they're still in the middle of a field. But we'll be back tomorrow night. That's the plans. Unless I hear something, who knows? I might end up. We'll see what happens. Could get canceled at this point. It's up in the air. So I might be back tomorrow day. We'll see. I hope it doesn't get canceled. Hunting season ends this weekend. Ends in 6 days. Using the Amazon sugarcane seeder. Everything works fine except for potatoes on hired worker. Anyone have the same issue? I haven't played. Maybe one of these guys has. I haven't used it. Don't bill me. Resubscribe for month number 7. Thank you so much. That doesn't go in the jar because that's still on Game Wisp, but I really super appreciate you there. Don't bill me for your continued support. We just got the subscriber status from Twitch, so if ever you're more than welcome. I'll keep Game Wisp as long as people want to go through there. We'll keep it live. But something to think about. Don't bill me when you next resub, if you decide to resub next time. If you want to switch it over, you get ad-free viewing on the. But really, does Twitch play ads during your broadcast? Not unless they're really long. Just in the beginning and the end. But I thank you again for your continued support. That is awesome. Finally got Twitch subscription, Twitch affiliate status. After 3 years of broadcasting, but all it took was me actually putting on more than one show a week. I have viewers. I had, uh, yeah, just needed to do it more. So we'll see how it all works out. Now it's getting to partner status. We need, so tell your friends, okay? I don't know I haven't even looked at what partner status does. Hopefully it gives you more of the money that they take. Higher percentage. But partner status, the only thing I need to get to partner is jump up there and have an average of 75 viewers per show over 30 days. So the evening shows are what going to bring that up. We're running about 45 right now, average. But the evening shows, when we get sometimes over 100 viewers, we just got to get that up to 75 average viewers, and then I'll get partner status, and we'll see what happens. People with Amazon Prime can sub for free. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I know somebody subbed with Amazon Prime. That's pretty cool. Yeah, if you have Amazon Prime sub, they pay me. You'd be amazed. It may seem little, but I guess in the US here you can I'm going to have to look into that. I don't know. I just became the affiliate, but the bits that you can get from what you can buy them. I know in a lot of countries you have to buy them, but in uh, the United States you can actually watch videos and earn them. And yeah, they might be, I don't know what it takes to earn them, but those little bits that people donate, they add up over time. Trust me. I've only been doing this a couple days, and every single little bit, no, pun intended, I guess it was intended that time, actually helps. Those cheers, when you see the cheers up there. So in my off time when I'm map making or something, when I'm not online, I'm just gonna watch Twitch videos so I can give back some bits to other people. Still looking at widgets that I might install down below. I'm definitely gonna. I just haven't had time to set it up, but in our museum on this map and in all our maps, I have a list of people that have supported me or that live stream, and I'm going to put a panel down below that has the people that live stream our map as well, so that you know where you can find it. Yeah, it's like a but you'd be surprised how quick they those pennies add up in the jar for somebody like me who has absolutely no other income. I'll take your pennies too, and you don't even have to pay for them. Well, they have a special right now. I can get 1,000 for $10. I think they're more than a penny. I have to check my stats. I thought they were like a nickel. I have to look at it. Pretty punny, but it made you little giggle a little bit. Yeah, it happens. Sick pay. I actually am doing much better. So, but I am going to get back out in the workforce, and it has been not. It's more of a for me. Yeah, I have the spinal disease, but I really, like I said in past broadcasts, I just gave up trying. It was a combination of life falling apart all at once, and it's tough, but I'm back and with a vengeance. Life is good again, and I am gotta get back out there. I gotta make a steady income. So I'm gonna do it here, making maps, or I'm gonna do it. Thank you for the host, don't bill me, or I'm gonna do it out there in some warehouse or something. We'll see what happens. I'll be at Walmart greeting people. Uh, I have no idea, but I do have to start paying my way here. My sister's been gracious enough for the past 5 years to putting up with me. I've helped her out a little bit as I can with my donations, but it's time for me to start making things happen. Yeah, exactly. Quantum 4, I am with you there. Lots of private issues. My private issues I've made pretty public lately, but it all happened to me at once. Wife left, spinal disease, uh, and loss of job within a 6 month period, and none of them related to the other. Well, technically, I guess if you draw a line, but my back disease is not why I lost my job, but it makes it very hard to made it very hard to get another one because I was in such pain and I couldn't do the job types I was doing. So there's a link to not getting being able to get work. Uh, the back disease probably made me a much more miserable person, so that probably didn't help my marriage. But yeah, so in a way they're linked together, but they all were independently. The business ended up going under because my boss passed away at the same time. So I had everything I could want and went from everything to nothing, and that's just a tough thing to overcome. Own house, two cars in the garage, you know. Thank you for the sub, Wolfie 7009. Now it's not dropping in my jar. Why isn't it dropping my that jar thing is bugged? So yeah, things just fall apart, and I couldn't see a reason to continue going on, so I just existed here in front of my computer playing Farm Sim and making maps to basically make my days go by. It literally I had some good times and I made a lot of good friends during that, but the real world outside these doors didn't exist much anymore for me. And now it does again. So, all right, Wolfie, sounds good. He just switched over. Yeah, that little jar should drop stuff in every now and then, but it freezes up. They need to work on that app. We had it working. Now it's not. Yeah, believe it or not, Quantum 4, there's a real world outside the doors. Right now, I prefer not to go out there anyway because it's kind of cold. And we got just about a few minutes. Maybe I'll get another load in here. Then I'm going to have to log out and get ready to get out of here. But we'll be back if all works out well. I'll have a deer and be back in time for my evening show tomorrow night. I might have no deer and be back on my evening show. The only thing is, if I get it too late in the day and can't get back in time, then I might have to put a cancellation for tomorrow's show. There is a possibility that the whole trip gets canceled and I might be here earlier to do. Yeah, Badzilla. There's so many people out there. That's why I'm not going anywhere. I've reached a lot of people and met a lot of people that share in their same stories as similar to mine. So that's why I don't mind talking about it because a lot of those things are not easy to go through by yourself. But yeah, it was quite the experience to have that all at one time. It's like, why what's the use? I just couldn't even picture what a new future would look like. It wasn't like what I had planned. That's for sure. And I know that these guys, as Dan's sitting here listening to me, they probably had no idea because you just fake it every day to keep things going.
I do because I listen to you talking all the
Yeah,
time.
over the years you've heard some of it, but when for the most part, yeah, you knew the stuff I had to go through, but you didn't really know the extent of everything now that I've pretty much uh, let the world know everything that's been going on here. I mean, I've talked about it and joked about it and stuff, but yeah. So I haven't got into yeah. I pretty much gave up and moved into my sister's basement because trying to get a job with my back disease and trying to make ends meet and trying to get over the and having to move away from my two kids, it's a lot for anybody. But look at me now. That's what's amazing about this DR trip. I want to tell you, I'm going to the Dominican Republic for anybody that's just joining on a mission trip to help other people. You realize that a year ago I thought I'd be on disability. Now I'm going to help build a roof on a school, and I'm in much better physical shape because just made some changes with the good Lord's help, and it's absolutely amazing. I never even thought I was questioning if I'd be able to walk again someday but it's been a complete 180 for me. So don't give up hope. It's absolutely, it's mind-boggling, and it's part of what makes me want to do what I do and help out and give back to others and give hope to others because you never, people know me. People know me here from the last year's broadcasting, but people that know me in real life are absolutely astonished at what has happened with me as a person in my uh, capabilities. I mean, I was the one that used to have to go over with the nephews and nieces and sit on the sidelines while they're playing baseball or football. At 51 years old, I didn't even think I'd be able to do half of that stuff again because of my spinal disease. But when we went on the family reunion, it was me out there running around playing those games as many of the other ones who are perfectly healthy were just too darn lazy to get up and do it. And I had so much fun because to me, it's like stuff that I never thought I'd be able to do again. Playing flag football with the kids and doing stuff like that is just absolutely been wild. And it literally just, I've been doing some stretch. I have a fused spine, but I've got more mobility back now that I've been strengthening the core muscles around the spine so I can do a little bit more with it. It's yeah. Fortunately, you did pay the loans back. My loans have, when I got divorced, I ended up having to sell my house. Uh, I cut a deal. Well, I don't know. I think I got the worst end of the deal, but I made a deal with my wife that she could keep her retirement fund, which was our retirement fund, if I could keep the house. And then after I did that, I lost the house because I lost my job and I needed to sell the house to pay off all my loans. So at least coming here, I was debt free and homeless. But at least I do. I haven't had that hanging over me in the past 5 years, having to worry about paying off people, and I've kept it that way. So uh, for the last 5 years, I wouldn't even get a cell phone. Today, I finally have one because I need to have one with again. But I dread having that bill every month of a cell phone because I'm so used to it's so much more free when you don't have that debt hanging over your head. Jeff M252 be 37 this month. 40 is coming. Oh yeah. Nobody's getting any younger. Undertaker dead man. Yeah, well, at least I'm not coming to see the Undertaker anytime soon. How you doing there? All right. My time here is expired. Dan, I've got a cedar on this field that's got a couple rows left. I'll wait till it's done and then I'm going to park this in the garage and get out of here for the day. But we will be back. Check the schedule down below for future broadcasts and hope you all enjoy the new lineup. And thanks again. Oh, we're gonna run the credits in a minute and see if that works today. Undertaker Deadman is now following. Thank you for the follow there, Undertaker. And that cube dropped in the bucket, so it's just a little bit weird. It happens sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. So today's show will be posted to YouTube. The YouTube link is down below. I'm gonna get off of here in just a couple minutes. Post today's two shows up to YouTube. Head out, and we'll be back tomorrow evening at with another map making session. We'll be working on the 16x map. So if you want to get your vote in, vote down below on what you want the name to be, and we can let you guys make it happen. I've put up some idea suggestions. Uh, TC and me, I've got a lineup of shows, a schedule of broadcasts. I finally decided that I'll work around my schedule and try to get a schedule up down below on my stream below my stream on one of the panels. You'll see a schedule of when I'll be broadcasting next. Actually, up next section on this current stream says it's Tuesday map making, and it's too small. Don't bill me. Thank you for the subscription as well. So subs now all of a sudden aren't dropping in the bucket, but follows are. That's a weird little bucket thing going there. It's bugged. But thank you so much, Don't Bill Me, for the sub as well. Trust me, I got it. We just got to get that little glass working a little better. So yeah, we're going to be trying to schedule more shows, and I've got a whole week's worth up there, and I'm going to add in like all the stuff I do offline. I'll put in next Mondays as soon as I have an idea. Tonight I should know if we're going to have a meeting next Monday, and if not, we'll be able to put in an evening show on Monday. Oh, they're appearing, but they're not falling. Yep, there's a couple stars in there. So the glass is filling up. They're just not falling in. Oh, you saw it go in? So it's just me. Good. I'm glad you saw it go in. Yep, the purple and white stars are subs. They drop in. And that's weird how some see it and some don't. That's true. So we have a new show lineup, and we'll try to keep it a week ahead, and we'll see how that goes. How this is kind of a trial run to see how it goes, but so far I'm liking it. Uh, we'll Then I'm going to the Dominican Republic on the mission trip, so we'll take that time off, and when we get back, we'll see what we've decided to do for the time being. If I'm going to, well, I won't be working yet, but we'll either have to start looking for something, or maybe I'll actually have enough to give my sister another month's worth of room and board and just keep it going here for a little while. But oh, it could be, but we'll do something, and we'll keep in touch. Right now, my goal is to get that 16x as far along as we can before all that happens. So I've been really cranking away at it as much as possible. Because if I'm going out for a job, that means my 60 hours a week of broadcasting and map making end up being probably 15 to 20, and it'll just lengthen the time before it's released. It will be released. It depends how stressful my other job would be, you know? Some jobs are pretty good. I've had jobs where you go to work and it's like you come back home and it doesn't wear you out for the day, you know? You just can keep on going throughout the evening. Don't bill me 300 bits. Thank you so much. Then I've had the jobs where the last thing you want to do when you get home is jump on and do a map. You'd rather take a nap, not map. So, with that, thank you for the cheers there. Don't bill me. Thank you for the donations. And we're going to catch you guys soon. I'm going to run my credits as we can do that now and end the show. And we'll catch you guys back here real soon. Thanks for watching and have a great afternoon and evening.
I see you still got a vehicle. Need to pick that up, or you need